Hey everyone, my name is Mr. Piper, and I am the instructor for this class, which would be ITSE 1311, or Introduction to Basic Web Programming. And this is obviously week number 1. And really this week, we're not going to do a whole lot of much. Just going to give you guys a syllabus and kind of explain to you how everything's going to work out. Give you guys a little syllabus quiz. Should be an easy 100 for y'all if you pay attention. Go back through, read the syllabus just in case you have any questions or to prepare yourself for that. And then there's maybe 1 or 2 other little tiny things you're going to have to do. So just check Moodle and see what exactly is there for you to do. So like I said, this week, I'm just going to kind of talk to you about the class, what I'm going to expect, what you guys are going to need to go out there and download and install on your computers just so you're ready and all that good stuff. So let's get started. This is week 1. Basically, this class is going to teach you a few things. We're going to learn just the basics of HTML and CSS. And if you have no idea what those are, that's probably fine. We're going to get into that next week. Just know that is the basics of every single web page that's on the internet. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about HTML5, which is the most current version of HTML. Along with that, CSS3, again, most current version of CSS. We're also going to look a little tiny bit at jQuery and JavaScript and learn exactly what those things are. And then we're going to start looking at a newer technology called Bootstrap and frameworks. So really that's what is going to encompass this entire class. What are you going to need for this class to be successful? Well, first you need to go get the book. I encourage you to go online on Amazon and get the e-copy. It's pretty cheap. I think maybe like $15. So I don't have some $250 book that you have to go out and get now. Day one, go get it. No, it's okay. Go get the e-copy as soon as you can. Hopefully by next week, everyone will have it. If not, please send me an email so that way we can kind of try to figure something out. You're also going to need to download 2 pieces of software. You need to go find a good text editor and a good FTP client. I've added some links on the main page on Moodle on some suggestions. I really like PSPad if you're using a PC for the text editor. If you are on a Mac, I recommend getting Text Wrangler. Both of those are free programs. I have links on the main page, so go and get those. If you have another you'd rather use, like Bluefish or Notepad++ or something like that, it's fine as long as it's a good text editor that's going to show you syntax. That's the big thing. So if you don't know what that means, cool. Go download PSPad if you have a PC or Text Wrangler for Mac. And then you're going to need an FTP client. What that is, it's the program that's going to allow you to actually submit your grade or your work that needs to be graded to the web server. Okay. And FileZilla is the one I recommend for the FTP client. When we're doing work in this class, there's a couple things you need to know. All the assignments are going to be, you're going to do every week, are going to be something like a forum post, a quiz, a lab, and then we also do class participation. Along with that, we also have some projects. You should know that due dates are always going to be posted in Moodle, and they're very clear, so there should be no excuse of, oh, I didn't know when this was due. You know, you did know it was due. It's posted very clearly in Moodle. So, and assignments are always going to be due on Sunday at 11:55 p.m. unless otherwise noted. So just majority of the time, 11:55 p.m. The main exception right now, this week, is going to be your syllabus quiz. You need to finish that before Friday. If you do not finish it by Friday, I'm going to assume that you are a no-show and you're not going to participate in the class and you're going to be dropped. So make sure to finish a syllabus quiz by Friday at 11:55 p.m. Late work. Okay? Everyone always wants to know, oh, what's the late policy? Guess what? I don't have one. Okay? Meaning, you can't turn in late work. If you missed it, you missed it. I'm sorry. Okay? Turn your work in on time. You have a whole week, in most cases, if not more time, to do assignments. So turn your work in, otherwise you get a 0. If you are sick, and I mean really sick, like have to go to the hospital, doctor, kind of sick, I will make an exception for those cases. Okay, but you have to provide me with documentation, meaning you have to either fax me, email me, or give me a note in my hand that says I was ill and unable to complete this assignment. There are other exceptions. Let's say that you were out of town and your car broke down and you couldn't get to a computer. Well, if you can provide documentation, I will work with you on those assignments. The only place that this does not apply is going to be when we're working on projects. I will not give any exceptions on projects. If you do not turn it in, you get a 0. And if you get a 0 on a project, you may want to look at possibly dropping this class because they are worth a big percentage. Okay? And of course, all these exceptions are on a case-by-case basis. I mean, you know, things happen. I know that. But just to be fair to everyone, just assume that you can't turn it in late. Don't bother asking unless there's really something serious that occurred that prevented it. Each week, you're going to be expected to submit your work via Moodle. But we do things a little differently here. Okay? Instead of you uploading your files, what you're going to have to do is you're going to need to upload your files to our web server called WebTech. webtech.tstc.edu is the actual name. Okay? Once you've done that, you will then need to take and paste the URL to the website that you've submitted and then turn that into Moodle. Okay? And next week, I'm going to provide you guys with a video that actually explains how to do that. Okay? I'm not going to expect you guys to know day one, okay, this is how you use an FTP client, and this is how I find the URL. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a video next week, so don't worry about that. Okay, just know that when you're turning stuff in, it's going to be turned into the web server. You're going to give me the URL or the link to these files. If you give me a dead link, the link is not formatted correctly, or it points to the wrong file, you're going to get a 0. So just double check your work before you submit it. Okay? Make sure you're giving me the right URL before you hit that submit button. Otherwise, you get a 0. And again, this is a no exception thing. Everyone is going to need to know how to do this when they get out into the real world. So give your boss the URL that the site you've been working on. If you give him the wrong thing, he's not going to be happy with you. Okay? So this is just me creating standards that everyone can follow. I expect everyone in here to participate. Okay? And participation means if I ask a question in the forum, you answer those forum questions. If you have issues with the work, you come and you see me, give me a call, email me, something like that. If you miss a forum post, I'm going to treat this like attendance. So, if you miss 3 forum posts during the semester, you fail this class. Okay? Make sure that you are doing these forum posts, okay? I know it's going to make some people sad if they fail this class just because they still have forums, and they're not worth a whole lot in the whole grand scheme of things in this class. I know these forum posts aren't worth a lot, but this is going to be the way that I've chosen to gauge attendance. And these questions are not difficult. They maybe take you 10 minutes to answer, but this is just how I'm gauging that everyone is participating, okay? We will have projects in here. These projects that we're going to have are going to be a total of 3. We have 2 major projects. Then we have a final project. I will give you guys a decent amount of time to work on these. This is the case where I was saying you may have more than a week to do your work. This is that case. I will always give you guys a good chunk of time to start working and planning on your projects, okay? These are a giant part of your grade, so do not take these lightly, okay? I have high expectations for these projects. So just make sure that what you have worked on and what you turn in is something that you're proud to turn in, something that you wouldn't mind handing over to a client or to your employer, okay? So just take your time on them. All the due dates, like I said, on the project are firm. I'm not going to fluctuate. If you're sick or whatever, that's fine, but I'm going to give you guys make 2-3 weeks to do these projects. So if you haven't finished those in 3 weeks and then you get sick at the very end, I'm sorry, but that's kind of just how things are. Okay? I will not make any exceptions for these assignments. All assignments are to be original works by the student. What I mean by that is don't go out and download a theme or a template and then make a couple changes and then try to turn that in as your own work. One, by the time we start doing the projects, I will have an eye for what if everyone's styles are, and I'll know what everyone's skill level is. Okay? On top of that, most of the time, There's going to be some way for me to figure out that you didn't do it, and I'm going to know, okay? So just do your own work. This is the same thing as cheating. If you sit there and you try to pawn off some other developer's hard work as your own, okay? So just make sure you do your own projects. And that goes for labs too. Some of the labs I may give you the option to do what you want as long as you get this certain end goal. Don't try to rip off a theme or a template. I'll know. If you've ever taken this class before, say in the past, obviously in the past you're a repeat student, but last semester, semester before that, whatever it may be, okay, I'm going to expect you to turn in new works. Meaning, don't try to turn in last year's or the year before's final exam for one of your projects. Okay? Just make sure you're doing your work. Do the assignments. Okay? If you don't, you'll receive a 0. And this infraction will be treated the same as if you were cheating on an assignment. Okay? So just don't do it. Okay? It's not a good thing. And then finally, Dreamweaver and WYSIWYG editors. WYSIWYG, that's a kind of a crazy word, but it stands for what you see is what you get. Okay? The purpose of this class is to learn HTML and CSS3 and learn how to code in it. Okay? You are expected to use text or code editors to create your assignments. If you are caught using Adobe Dreamweaver or some other type of visual or design editor, you will receive an F for that assignment. This is not me being a jerk. This is not me being overly hard on you. I want to make sure that you understand how to code in HTML5 and CSS3. Because if you leave this class and you've been using Dreamweaver the entire time, and you get to one of the hiring classes, let's say PHP or my jQuery class or e-commerce or WordPress, and I want you guys to make these changes in code and you have no idea how to do it, you're going to just hurt yourself. So make sure that you take the time to learn how to do these things, okay? Make sure to learn how to do the code on your own. Do not be dependent on some type of an editor, okay? And that really brings us to the end of my spiel on how the class works and, the syllabus. What I want you guys to do, go back and read the syllabus, then take the syllabus quiz. Along with the syllabus quiz, I need you to also finish Forum 1, okay? Really simple. This week is kind of just how to get started on everything, okay? Some things I want to tell you about the class that I have not added to my little PowerPoint. I don't want this to be like a general online class, okay? I want you to feel like you are in an actual class with a group that you can work with. So what I want you to know is on a weekly basis, I'm going to be offering Google Hangouts. If nobody knows what that is, it's like a chat room sort of thing where I can broadcast from my webcam, all right? And if you have any questions, you will have a designated time when you can come in and do that. I have not decided on a time at this current right now, okay? So I will post the time that these Hangouts will be available on Moodle. Just keep an eye out, and I'll also put them in the news forum for Moodle, so that way y'all should get notification once I have set all that up. So I have Hangouts. If you have questions, do not get behind in this class. Not that this class is overly difficult, but I just hate it if somebody were to wait until week 6 or week 7 or 8 and come to me and say, I don't know CSS. Well, that's going to be a big problem because it's going to hurt you mainly. And then I'm going to have to attempt to help you out, and it will just be, you'll be so far behind that it's just going to be very difficult to be caught back up. So if you start having problems, come to me as soon as possible. Don't be scared. I'm here to help everybody. Okay? So that's what those Hangouts are for, is you can log in, you can say, hey, here's my code, I don't understand what's going on, and you can share your desktop with me, I can see it, and I can say, okay, this is your problem, this is what you need to do, here's how to fix it, okay? Here's that. We also have the Open Lab on campus, so for you guys, I know a lot of y'all are not here in Waco or Central Texas within driving distance. But if you are, there's an open lab in the JBC building. That's where I'm located, the James B. Connolly building. Okay, on the first floor, there's a lab, and you can go in there. You can use the computers. You can use our resources. If you have questions, you can ask the lab assistant. If she doesn't know, they can always call me, and I'll come down there and help you out. I'm going to try to make myself available in the lab certain times. Go look on Moodle to see what those times are. I'm more than happy to help you out. Okay, and then there's also going to be a study group that I would like to put together for you guys that are around, and you can come on campus and we can partake in that as well. And I'll be available for that study group if you guys need it. Okay, so I'm here for you guys. All right, if you have any questions or comments, you need anything, my email address is available on Moodle. It's available on the syllabus, so feel free to email me. My phone number is there too, and I guess I'll say it right now just so you guys know. Sean.piper@tstc.edu. That's my email. Or you can phone me at 254-867-3240. And that is my office number. Okay, I'm trying to be really good about responding to emails, but really the best and most efficient way to get a hold of me is if you use your Gmail. Get a Gmail account if you don't have one, because we'll need it for the Hangouts if you need to do the Hangouts. But get a Gmail account and add me in the Google Messenger, or I guess it's called Google Hangout now. On the left-hand side, you just type in my email address, hit submit, and then it will send me an invitation. I'll accept it, and you can say, hey, here's my problem, or I have a question, or whatever it may be. Okay? So, that's that. Hope you guys have a great week. Make sure you get all your assignments in, and I will see you later.